welcome to Bride Talk with Anna and Olga. My name is Olga.
My name is Anita.
And today we're going to talk about bridal alterations or alterations in general. Now, before we go into the topic, we want to kind of give you guys a heads up of what to expect in the following weeks. On next Monday, we will be talking about rush weddings or how to choose your, shotgun wedding dress. And time frames and all that good stuff, budgeting and those kinds of things for rush weddings. And then the following week we'll be talking about bridal, how to choose your bridal dress, and that's more of a traditional bridal dress, not so much like a quick little dress. All right, so again, today we're talking about alterations.
Yes.
And to get into it, we do all sorts of alterations, right, Mom?
So we do skirts, tops, jeans, whatever you want to put on the top. If you want to put a sleeves, we can put a sleeves. So when you want to take it off, we can take it off. Then we can do also the bridal alteration that we've been known for, do the alterations on bridal.
Yeah, so we do everything. We do bridesmaids, we do tuxedos, we do formal, not formal, your closet, especially right now during Christmas time. I know sometimes we feel bad. I say this because sometimes if I'm gifted something and they give me like a bigger size than I am or a smaller size than I am, instead of sometimes they're, to take it back, you don't know where they took, where they bought it or whatnot. The best thing to do is to get it altered. So, right now is the season. So, usually we, right around January, we start getting a lot of people coming in for, the gifts from Christmas that don't fit or, anything like that. So not only bridal.
Right now, what we're doing is all those dresses that you're going to have for the party of Christmas.
Yes.
And New Year's Eve.
So true. So right now is the time to get those dresses fitted. I know with the current situation with COVID, we are a little bit more restricted, but if you're getting together with your family and you want to go ahead and celebrate, remember, we're still here. Go ahead and call us for an appointment or your local alteration provider. Again, we're going to go ahead and show you guys what our, recommendations are for alterations or what we would do. But yes, right now is the time for preparing for, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. If you're going to get proposed to or, and you want to propose to someone or whatever, you want to make sure that you're ready. A lot of times Christmas pictures.
Yes.
So make sure that your clothes fits you correctly. I know something for me, for example, I've been gaining weight and some of my stuff doesn't fit. So we got to make sure to get those things altered. Being locked in doesn't help. So those things are really important to know that, you can come to us. There's a bunch of different places. Just make sure that you feel comfortable with the person who's doing your alterations, because ultimately they are taking care of, you in that area. It is important that if you're not comfortable with your alterations person or you don't know how they do their work, to take them something to kind of test them, if you will, maybe a pair of jeans or a top that you like but you don't love that you want to just kind of test out to see how they do their work. If they do a great job, then great, continue, and if they don't, you need to keep finding someone better. Okay, that's our best recommendation as far as that.
When you bring your dress and you said I'm gonna need it pretty fast, so we are actually able to turn it around and give it to you in less than a week.
If it's an emergency.
If it's an emergency. If it's real an emergency, sometimes we can do it in 24 hours.
But usually we do prefer to extend it out, especially for bridal, when pants and all those simple things
that can be done
throughout a week. But things that are more complex, like bridesmaids dresses or a tuxedo for your wedding or the bridal dress, those things we prefer to either do 1 or 2, or bridal, for example, is 3 to 5 fittings. And it's important to kind of spread it out that way because we do pieces at a time rather than the whole thing. And this helps us see how the body fluctuates, how your body is acclimating to being in that stressful situation.
Right, because when we try a dress let's say for example in a bride, and we're going to do an alteration, we usually start at the top and going down. Once we hit the waist, then we can continue with the hips, and then we can go to the hem on bottom of the dress. The last thing we do is the basso, in case we have to do a basso. Then that's the last thing.
Okay.
And every time that you come, we are trying the dress to see how it's turning around.
Yes. And we do recommend a couple things. So before you come in, whether it be for jeans, whether it be for a shirt or a dress, a bridal dress, bridesmaid's dress, we do recommend that you bring in any place that you take your things to. It's important that you take what you're going to wear with that product for the most part. For example, bridal, you know what you're going to wear. You know what shoes you're going to wear. You know what undergarments you're going to wear.
And usually on bridal, we don't ask you for your bra. And we usually ask you for we can try to figure out what is the best for you, for the type of size, and you don't want to look too big if you're a small person. So it's kind of balance it out, the bust, the waist, and the hip.
And so we usually recommend, like my mother said, we don't recommend bringing a bra. And the reason for it is it usually creates lines. Also, if you want it to actually support you, you're going to start getting creases on where the straps would go, or bulges where you don't want them to be seen. So it's important that we usually recommend cups, and we have different styles, different sizes, different push-up, non-push-up, depending on the bra, the cup size of the woman.
And also what she wants to have.
Exactly. So these go sewn onto the dress.
Inside of the dress.
So that way that it gives it the full push-up. Now here it is shown on one dress, and this is the way we do it because it allows for the bust to actually sit on the cup and lift it. Each dress is different, of course. It depends on the client, and it depends on, of course, the bust size and all of that. So there's that. And then also, some brides like to wear shapers. And usually this is just a tummy shaper. It's kind of like a little tube. Yeah, it's too small.
Too big for you.
It's too big for me, but it looks small. Anyways, this is a shaper, and usually what you do is if you're going to wear a shaper, we need you to bring this one in because it will push your tissue into different areas of your body that maybe you're not used to. Yes.
And it takes in one size down.
Yeah. So it usually brings you one size down, but it pushes sometimes it pushes your bust up higher, and it makes the dress sit different on you.
Yeah. The beauty of this kind of shaper is that once you put it on you, you have to try at least 3 sizes to be able to see which one is good on you. Because, for example, this is for the back, and then it right here is stretched to put you in. Then on the front, you see this is for the tummy.
So it's important that wherever you're gonna buy your shaper, that you do try. So we like to go with what's most comfortable, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Right? We like to feel loosey-goosey, but the best way to do it, like for example, if I wear medium, I'm going to do a small, or maybe even an extra small.
Yes.
Because what you want it to do is you want it to cinch. You want it to bring you in. And if it, like this right here, this is an extra large. So you want to make sure that, and it looks tiny, right? But you want to make sure it really does do the job that you want it to do. So those are some of the things that's important to bring in when we're going to do alterations.
Also the shoes.
Yes.
If you don't bring the shoes at the time that we're going to do the hem, we cannot touch the dress, because even some people say, well, let me try one of your shoes and then we can go by that. I don't like that, because later on they decide to buy a different type of shoe, and then we already damaged the dress.
Yes.
And it's on her, because she was the one who asked me for it, and I prefer to say no. So
what that means is usually we will alter completely the gown. Let's say she chooses a 4-inch heel from here. She's like, that's perfect, that's the size of my shoe. But when she goes home, it's a 2-inch heel, and it's still going to drag when she comes back. So either it's going to be too long, or the opposite. And if we cut it too short, then it's going to look like your what we call puddle jumping, because it's above the ground, right? And it looks funny. So
it doesn't look professional and doesn't look elegant.
So the best thing to do is to get the shoes that you're going to wear, and this is applicable to not only bridal dresses, it's applicable to just about everything you bring in.
Jeans, skirts, everything.
Because when you do, like for example with jeans, I know that I wear my jeans with boots and I wear my jeans with sometimes heels and sometimes flats. But I want to go with the shoe that I'm going to wear the most with those. So for example, I wear boots all the time when I wear jeans. That's what I'm going to bring in to do my alteration. And then maybe I'll bring in a different pair of jeans that I wear just with flats, and I'll just do those with my flats. So it is very important that you bring the right type of undergarments, shoes, shapers, whatever you're going to do for your event. Okay?
Perfect.
And then lastly, some of the things that we do on bridal dresses, just to sum it up, I'm going to go ahead and bring the dress back so she can show you guys what a bustle looks like, a hem, and those kinds of things. And we're not going to discuss prices because every alteration is different.
It's different, yes.
And it's really hard. Can you? Yeah. So pricing is different. I mean, not to go into detail, but it could be super simple. It could be just a stitch, some buttons or some zippers. Super simple alteration from a $2 all the way up to, a very extensive, fully redone dress that goes up into the hundreds. Now, it is important to remember that most alteration departments do have payment plans, especially for those really expensive ones for bridal and things like that. So we can always, especially like in our shop, we do have that option for you guys.
The other thing that we do is that we always give you the price ahead, so you don't have surprises. Even if it takes more than what we estimated, it doesn't matter. We don't higher the price.
So it's important to know that, especially when you're going to leave a product somewhere, because you don't want to show up and have them say, well, it took me 3 hours longer, so it's going to be $60 more or 40 more, and you're like, what? That's not what you said. So it's important that you guys know that what is given at the beginning, regardless of what comes up later, as long as there's no additional work that you choose to add to it, it stays the same. So let's say
that's a good point,
right? So let's say that you wanted straps and you wanted your hem done, right? But then you're getting close to your wedding and you're like, you know what? I also want the bustle. Well, the price for the strap and the hem is obviously going to stay the same, but we will give you the quote for the bustle, and then you could choose if you want to add it or not. But at the end of the day, you are very clear on what the total is. We have clients, so we will pause. Okay, back again. So this is an example of a dress that we just altered, and we did the straps. Again, what's important to remember, as Anna will mention right now, is that everything has to look like it did prior to the alteration. So it shouldn't look like it was changed. Yeah, it shouldn't. Exactly.
The inside and the outside, it should be look like it was made to her size and how she wanted.
Yes. And ultimately, what we want to happen here is that we want to make sure that you look like it should look when you look at a picture, when you look at yourself in your videos or in your pictures, that you look beautiful, that you look exactly as you picture this dress on you. And
you know why? Because when you go to your wedding, or one of the bridesmaids go and somebody sees her dress, and they ask, where do you get this alteration done, or where you get this dress? Then you'll be able to, if we did the right thing, that's right alteration, then you'll be able to mention our name, because that's the best recommendation that we have.
Exactly. So this is just a quick example of an alteration that we just did for this is a backyard wedding, if you will. These are really, really good dresses.
First of all, we did the strap because it goes on the side, and you cannot go too far or too high. So,
and we also adjust it to where it doesn't feel too tight on the body. So when you're gonna go hug someone, you don't feel like, oh gosh, I can't go hug them.
Then we put cups.
We added the cups, so you can kind of see here. These are sewn in as well,
and it's according to her taste, and whatever she wants, how she wants to look.
A lot of people ask, why isn't it underneath the fabric? And the best response to that is that we had tried it underneath the fabric, but the main problem that we were running into is that it was not holding the bust where it needed to go. And it was protruding the fabric, the inner lining of the fabric, it was protruding it out.
And sometimes you can look through.
Yeah, and so that wasn't the very best way to do it. This way has proven the most effective, and we've practiced for many years. As you guys know, we've been here for 21 years, so this is kind of the best method that we've come into conclusion with.
Then it was loose on the hip, so we took it in, starting from the waist all the way to wherever it falls out.
Go back a little bit. Go back. Right there. So you can't. I thought you were going to be able to see, but it has this kind of hourglass kind of symmetry to it on this alteration, and it's meant to be that way so that way it hugs her body. This is more of a mermaid flare kind of type dress. It's not like super fitted, but it is fitted enough to where you do need to see that shape, and that's how it was altered to her body. We also altered the hem. And this hem here is more of it's a heavier hem, depending on each dress. It's different, so we can't do the same alterations on any dress. Each dress kind of tells us what we need to do, whether that be it's just a raw cut, or if it's lace, do we need to reattach and restructure the whole bottom of the dress? Do we need to open it to bring it in? Because this here is lace. Do we need to redo the zippers?
If the dress has 3 layers inside, we have to open the 3 layers and work every single one separately.
Yes. Now, the back, this dress has a small train. It's not like the long ones, which we'll go into detail when we discuss the traditional dresses. This one has more of a smaller bustle, and it has 3 hooks. Now, this one, I'm just going to attach it to the first one just so you guys could kind of see the first, like that, so you guys can kind of see. Now it has 3, so it lifts up and you can see the full bustle. Go back a little bit more, right there, like that. Okay, now it's kind of hard to see, I know, from the video, but it kind of gives you an idea of what to expect. Now I'm going to hang it up so we don't. Okay, so those are some tips on alterations, what to expect. If you are in your first appointment and you come back to try on your dress and the dress doesn't look right, please don't continue alterating your dress through that person, because the chances of it getting better aren't very good. Now, you can usually hear from other brides if you don't feel comfortable in a place or whatever it may be, that it is important that you speak up, that you feel comfortable. And if something doesn't feel right or doesn't look right, definitely let them know. And if if you don't feel like it's getting any better, please take your dress. You spend a good chunk of money on your gowns for your special day, and it's not good to risk it, if you will.
When we see the bride come back, when we have the second or the third appointment and we try the dress on the bride, and especially me, that I'm very peculiar about
details, fine details.
So sometimes the bride cannot see those, but I see them. So the seamstress somehow escape from that.
Yeah.
Or didn't do it. But I see, so I put it to the attention of the bride so we can make it even better.
Okay, so and then lastly, I know we talked about alterations. We also do design work. So if there's something that gets added to a gown that it doesn't have, like for example, say you want to add cap sleeves, or you want to add sleeves full length or 3/4, or say you want to add a modesty panel to the front because it's too low cut, or
a train.
Or, for example, I had someone bring in a dress the other day that doesn't have a zipper, and she needed a zipper added in. These are all things that can be done to add to a dress. Or if you want a dress from scratch, we do have a designer on hand, as well as ourselves. We usually work through the design process with you to get the best idea put forth, and then we do create gowns out of nothing, if you will.
Just a piece of material.
Yeah. So that is a possibility as well. Now, always remember, expect miracles is one of our quotes.
Yes, I have it right here in front.
And it's something that we like to live by because we
Yes.
know that everything is possible.
And when I emphasize on that is when a bride, usually the first time, she's nervous. Where she's going to leave her dress and what she asks a lot of questions, and I can notice when they're nervous. And I said, if you feel nervous, come and see and read this sign. So it says expect miracles, and I said it's not from me, it's from God. They gave us the knowledge.
Okay, so we want you guys to feel comfortable at the end of the day. We want you guys to know that we are here to serve you guys in the best way that we
Yes.
can. And this is an area of specialty that I think has started with our family since my mom was a baby.
Yeah, I grew up with my grandma and my mom being the centers of the town, especially my mom.
So we're very familiar in this area. And yeah, if you guys are ever concerned or if you have any questions that maybe we didn't answer today, please feel free to message us or email us or drop something in the comments. We can always respond. Yeah, and don't be worried too. The other thing I forgot to mention is, being petite is a huge thing. I'm 4'9", and I recently got married. You guys will hear this a bunch in our videos, but we cut off a good chunk of the dress. Yeah, see, a good chunk. And the bottom of the dress was all lace on both dresses. And it looks like it was never touched.
Exactly.
So these are all things that are very important to remember when, maybe I'll post some pictures at the end of this too, so you guys can see what I mean as far as like the wedding dress that I wore, so you can see how much work actually went into doing this, because they had to alter everything, including the train, to fit like it should fit on a person that's 6'2" or 6'3", because that's your average length.
And for example, in Olga, because she's so petite also from the waist up, we have to open the dress to make her size.
Yes, the torso. I have a very short torso, so I know you guys can't really see me fully, but usually torsos are probably another 2 inches longer, or 3 sometimes, depending on the height of a person. But yeah, my torso is tiny, so they had to open up that waist and pretty much just cut it and redo it again. So it takes a lot of work, but we want you guys to know that everything is possible. I don't think we've ever said no to anyone except for maybe a few people that there was absolutely no way to fix it.
When I see an impossible, then we going to make more situations than make it better.
By impossible, we mean like you were gifted a dress from maybe your mom or your grandmother, and she was a size 2, and you are about a size 12. What we mean by impossible is we can only do so much to make the dress work because of the size of the material. And if it's a gown that we can't find the fabric anymore because it's something that existed years ago, then we can't promise you something that we can't do. And that's only happened a handful of times. We can repurpose the fabric of the dress and create something different, but we have to have also enough fabric for that. A lot of cases we end up taking bits and pieces from it, like we did for one bride. We ended up taking some of the lace and repurposing it for her new design so that she had something from her grandmother. But it is important to know that we do try by all means to try to incorporate your idea into your ultimate design.
And it's not even to I cannot say it's not possible because I want you to buy me a dress. No, that's never the issue. So if I can see the possibilities, we can approve it.
And we always, you'll hear us bickering too sometimes, because I'm like, no, this is possible, and she's like, wait a minute, what about this? This is not possible.
Yes.
And we'll go back and forth. So if you hear us bickering, it's us opening our ideas and opening our minds. It's not us actually bickering or fighting. It's us.
No, it's just discussing
possibilities. Yes. So yeah, if you ever hear us doing that, that's what it is.
This one was really good.
Yeah. Also, if you ever hear us going back and forth in English and Spanish, it's not that we don't want you to understand what we're saying. It's just the fact that
it's fun and it comes out.
We don't mean it. It's just we're so comfortable with just talking to each other that a lot of times we forget we're even talking Spanish. I know, we're so bad. Anyways, Thank you guys for watching today.
Thank you so much.
If you guys have any questions, please drop them in the comments below. Keep following us. We're posting every Monday. So let us know what you guys think.
And it's a lot of fun coming to Honest Bridal Boutique.
Yeah,
So
visit
welcome
us.
anytime.
Yes, thank
Thank you.
y'all.